Hey, I'm Tracy Fergoli. Thank you so much for watching this video. This is my first ever YouTube video. I've been thinking about doing this for years now. I am a bit of a YouTube addict because you can learn so much at the same time as doing something else. I'm an artist and my channel is going to be called Art, Breath, Paint, Air. And this has been my artist statement for probably 25 years, art, breath, paint, air. And then I would talk about, what art is basically like breathing. And so that's what I thought, at least I've been using it all this time and it seems to be me. So, and I think people could sort of relate to what it means. It's a little bit poetic because I'm a little bit poetic. And so that's my deal. That's going to be my name. And this is my attempt to get a video out there, and I would like not be bad quality. I know the lighting probably could use some work, which is ironic because I was a photographer for like, I don't know, 15 years or something. So we're just gonna go with the lighting as is. I wasn't a videographer, so we're just doing this. Well, I was a representational painter since '98. And I started plein air in '99. Then I started doing portraits so that I could be a better landscape painter. And then I realized, oh, I really like doing portraits. And it is very difficult. So it really hones your skills. So I've been building skills. And after a while, you build so many skills and you're like, well, then what? Like another pretty picture. I did kind of do a lot more photography because I was learning new skills with photography. But I was still doing art. Then COVID hit and nobody was getting these photographed because I was a portrait photographer during COVID, and I had to really rethink like what was going on. I did a lot of gardening. I had a lot of angst. I had a lot of angst about people dying and how hard this was on everyone in many ways. And even when COVID was going to be ended, it wasn't going to take away the climate catastrophe that science tells us is coming our way. That was really hard for me. So I'm out there, I'm in the garden, I'm doing my lockdown stuff, and I'm doing my best to keep it together. But I just noticed the anxiety was not going away. And it was surprising that it took me this long because I have a master's in art therapy. I was an art therapist for 11 years until I became just a painter, or I should say not just a painter. It took me a while to realize, oh, I think you need to be making art. Because I thought, who needs another pretty picture? I was doing, pretty pictures, beautiful light, beautiful color, beautiful people, that kind of thing. And that was enough for a really long time. It wasn't enough anymore. And it didn't seem appropriate anymore. And so I said, you know what, you really need art. You need to get back to the easel. I don't care what you do, how you do it, but you need it. And I will say that to anybody. Even if you're not good at art, or even if you don't like art, pick an art that you like, that you want to learn, whatever, writing, music, cooking, decorating, crafts. It doesn't really matter. Make art. It's so good for you. The more you free yourself, though, to express yourself with your art, the more you're going to get out of it. That's what I would say. And so I started making art. And I realized that if I never painted another pretty picture, that would be okay. But I do need to make art. So what do I need to make art about? Well, my angst about the climate. And I don't want to bum you out, but I've looked at a lot of science, and I wanted to make climate-focused art. I didn't want it to be in your face like, oh, you better go, change the straws that you use, or stop this or stop that. That's not my style at all. But I wanted to express my feelings about the climate and my love for the climate, my deep sort of appreciation and love for all creatures. and my sadness over those creatures basically dying, going extinct in many cases. I'm not going to be good at reciting the science for you because I'm an artist, but I can hear it and understand it, and it's not good. So that brings up so many feelings: grief, anxiety, and anger, and that helplessness and the hopelessness. And the thing is that it's not hopeless per se, and you are not helpless in this case. And so I realized that, and there's other things I've realized. But anyway, it's been a journey to change my working methods, to have them reflect my new sort of focus. And there were so many things that I needed my art to do that just representational painting was not doing. There's still definitely representation in my work. There's a lot more abstract exploration to begin with, and there's a lot more following my nose and allowing things to happen and allowing the painting to tell me what to do. So why this channel? I don't know. Maybe you're on a journey in that way as well. But also, like, if you think about it, let's say you want to make climate aware art. Let's just say that. Let's just call it that. But you're using acrylic paint. And there's like a disconnect there. Those two kind of don't go together. Acrylic paint is made out of fossil fuels. It's plastic. And it has all kinds of additives in it that are actually not very good for you at all, that are toxic. But the health thing aside, the thing for me obviously was the fact that, it just didn't fit with my values. But it definitely fit with what I needed the paint to do, to express my values and to express my feelings. I mean, like, okay, so I'll pick one up here. So this is actually how I start. I start a painting. Let me see if I can get it. It wants to track me. Here, let me put it in front of my face and maybe that will help. So anyway, I do a lot of sort of mark making, abstract mark making in the beginning to try to get them, like, what does water do when it goes down a stream and like makes eddies, and things that were more natural. Like I was like, okay, I want to talk about ice. Well, how do I like do water things, or like how do you know what I'm saying? Without saying this is about ice or painting ice. That wasn't I didn't think that was what I wanted either. So I wanted to say or suggest things with the paint, but not like clobber you over the head with it. I don't know if you can, if I come over here, it'll probably come over here. Let's go over here. Yeah, so there's an octopus up there. But behind that, it kind of like I was able to make the paint look like spray, or like bubbles, or that kind of thing, so that once I got that effect, I was like, okay, that's some sort of nautical thing. And then the octopus decided it was going to be there. It wanted to be on this lady's head. That's my methodology now. It took me a while to find it and to hone it and get better at it, but it wasn't so great to be using acrylic paints. So I had a choice. I had choices to make, and I explored what those choices were. And there's some really cool solutions out there for people just like me that want to use acrylic paint but don't like, the whole fossil fuel thing. And plus, you putting those microplastics down the drain, not good, and the health thing as well. I will tell you that this painting I just showed you, that's all plant-based acrylic. I've been trying to explore, like, how far can I push that to do the things I want it to do, that regular acrylic paint does for me. And they're from Natural Earth Paints, naturalearthpaint.com. I like the fluid version. So actually, I'm hoping to do a whole series about their products. Pretty much, I think, why I want to do a YouTube channel. So I'll leave it at that. And because this is only supposed to be my introductory video, but that's kind of where I see my YouTube channel going. That's going to be the first thing anyway. I'm going to be talking all about natural earth paint probably, but there's other options out there, and I'll be trying to see how far I can push it, because I'm pretty sure there's other people like me that feel the same way. They're like, hey, this is hypocritical. Okay. And the other thing is, I'm not throwing any shade on anyone else in what they use in their artwork. Everybody has their own choices to make, their own journey. And I will also say, it's not like I'm not going to use up my art materials, my acrylics, but I will not, if I can at all help it, put it down the drain. Like, yeah, there's ways to keep as much of that out of the wastewater as possible. Not easy ways. So that's why I usually like want to use the plant-based acrylics. It's just easier. And I think I promised probably like 5 minutes ago to stop talking. So I'm going to do that now. Thanks so much for watching. Listen, if you think any of what I said might be interesting for the future, for future you, please like and please subscribe. Because you know what? Like, I probably, as you're watching this, have like 0 subscribers because this is my first video. And if you are some of the first ones, I will be so stoked and so excited. And if you comment, gosh, can you imagine how excited I'll be? And I will probably definitely reply back to you. So again, Tracy Frugoli, tracyfrugoli.com if you're interested in my work. Thanks.